you starting to think about getting your team back to work? Are you starting to think about how you're going to get them aligned behind your vision and working with you and overcoming some of the barriers that there might be to the change in working practices that you need to make for your business? My name is Mark Topley, I'm the CSR coach, and I help leaders to grow businesses where people love to come to work. And today I'm going to show you a very simple formula that I've used many times to successfully lead people through transitions, particularly when there might be obstacles and hard times to overcome. Now, this technique will give you the best chance possible of getting people to move forward with you. Some people are coming back to work very positive. Some people are kind of in the middle, maybe a little bit worried, a little bit concerned. Some people will be downright negative, and you will have those people that are dragging their heels and are going to be deliberately obstructive to what it is that you want to do. And often I've heard people say that nobody likes change. I don't think that's true. I think that people don't like change when they can't see that there's a point to it and they can't see what's on the other side of it for them. And that's where we're going to focus our attention today. How easy this is going to be to achieve for you is going to be down to the emotional capital that you've built up with your team during lockdown. So if you've led them well, if you've been in good communication with them, if they feel loyal towards you and that they feel trustworthy and trusted by you, then you're going to find this a lot easier. If you haven't, then you've got an uphill battle, but this formula will still give you the best chance possible to take people forward with you, and it gives you a chance to try and fix some of those things that maybe you've missed during lockdown. So the formula starts with R. And R is resistance. R is, this is unfair, I don't want this to happen, I can't see why we need to do this, this is something I'm not prepared to do. Whatever it is that people are resistant about, you need to overcome that. And that's the first part of the formula that we need to focus on. We need the things that we do in this half to be greater than R, to be greater than the resistance. And the first thing we need to do is to create dissatisfaction. Why do we start with dissatisfaction? Because people need to see a problem before they're prepared to engage the resources and the emotional energy in solving that problem. So we start with D. We start with the dissatisfaction with what's going on right now, and particularly what it means for them. So you might talk about, things are tough with financially, we just come out of the lockdown, things are tough clinically because we're not quite sure about how we're going to make this work, costs are going to increase, staffing levels are going to have to be shifted around. And what it means for them is that that's going to have an impact on you. Make sure that you link whatever it is that you're talking about negatively to their experience of it, not your experience of it. Because for them, that doesn't really matter. As humans, we are inherently selfish in a lot of ways, and people will be much more likely to go with you if you can show them the dissatisfaction from their point of view before you move on. Now, from dissatisfaction, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply that by V. And V is for vision. Vision is where you start to create a picture of where you're going to be in the future. What is it going to look like? What is it that you're trying to get to? What's it going to be like in 6 months to a year's time? Where do you want them to be? Where do you want the business to be as a group, as a team together? And again, what does that mean for them? So that we're going to do this so that we can get through and you'll be able to continue to look after your families. You'll be able to get through this so that you can continue to grow and develop in your job. You're going to get through this so that you're going to have a greater sense of purpose when you come to work. Whatever it is, that the vision of what you're trying to create, make sure you make that really clear, and again, link it back to them and why it matters for them. And what you do with dissatisfaction and vision is you create the picture of what it's like now and how it affects them, and what we want it to be like in the future and what that means for them. So they can see that there's a gap between the two, and that's where we put our third element of this side of the equation in, and that's all about the first steps. First steps, the actions, the changes that we're going to need to make immediately to get towards this vision. You've shown with dissatisfaction that you understand where they're coming from and why this is difficult, but you've also painted a picture of, we need to make these changes. You've shown them a picture about where it is that you're trying to get to, and now you're going to give them the first steps, the changes that you're going to make immediately that they can contribute towards achieving that vision. And it's important at this point, as people start to push back, to understand and to empathise with where it is that they're coming from. Don't accept what it is that they're saying, but you do need to connect with them. And that means using phrases like, I know this is difficult. I understand that this is going to cause problems for you. And then avoid the word but then lead that into a sentence like this. So I know this is really difficult, and because I know that it's difficult, I want the best for you, we are going to have to make this change. Because immediately you put that word but in there, it creates a full stop on the end and they stop listening to anything else that you've got to say. All they do is focus on, this is difficult for you. So make sure you get your first steps in, and make sure you get those sentences in which show that you understand, and because of what you're committed to, which is about their good and about the good of the business, that's why you're committed to doing these things differently. So if you take those steps, dissatisfaction multiplied by vision plus first steps will be greater than resistance. And that's what I've found in the past. I found this really, really clearly. Make sure the first step is something you're going to do as well. As when you lay out those first steps, make sure that they can see that you have got skin in the game, that you are prepared to make sacrifices and changes as well as the changes that you're asking them to make. Make them explicit. Don't make people guess about what it is that you're doing or what you're going through, but make that explicit as well. So good luck. For more videos like this, subscribe to my channel or watch the onboarding series. Thanks for watching.